Holla ballers, what's going on? It's Preacher, and once again, Mr. G. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, mate?
I like doing this PTR stuff with you. Usually it's a very lonely affair doing it all on my own.
Bit of back and forward.
Yeah, a bit of back and forwards, and plus we could cover a lot of content. And today we're looking at all the new class campaigns to get your flying mounts, your new class mounts.
We're on the way now, pal.
We are on the way. We're doing our class mounts. So a few things before we get into these to avoid spoilers. The only prerequisite for this is to have your previous campaign done. So if you have your third relic slot.
Yes.
And to go and visit the Broken Shore, which takes about 2 minutes. That's it. Once you get there, it unlocks the ability to do your Order Hall campaign in your Order Hall. Get down there, there'll be a quest waiting for you to get started.
Yep.
And so we've looked at Shaman, we've looked at Demon Hunter, we've looked at Rogue, and we've looked at Mage. And done those initial quests. Overall thoughts before we get into the spoiler world?
Enjoyed it. Absolutely enjoyed it. The two that I had, I don't know if it was just luck, like I did the Rogue and the Demon Hunter, but they're very class immersive, completely different. And I mean, even in things like the Demon Hunter, where it's very edgy and dark, full of bants, mate.
And I say, and you say, look, because the two I got were pretty shit. We're not even close. So you will be finding, guys, that some people have better ones than others. Yeah. So I guess I'll kick off with my Mage one. Now we're just going to go into what you actually do here. So if you don't want any lore spoilers, I will point out for the lore heads out there's some really good stuff in here. So just bear that in mind. Starting from now. So my Mage one is about creating the ion cannon, and I certainly hope that we are turning Dalaran into a Death Star.
That'd be amazing.
Because mine was all about getting Dalaran's defenses working.
Yeah.
It was really cool. So we had to figure out, like, certain parts of Dalaran defenses have fallen apart or just flat out don't work, and we need some technology to get it working, to charge the lasers. So I had this little quest that mine took me through Suramar, and then all of them end up in the Broken Shore at some point to do the final bit.
Yeah.
And all of the quests involve something to do with your class, like a themed part of the quest will be to do with your class. Now, unfortunately, the Mage one was a little disappointing. The best they came up with for Mage stuff was the ability to spell steal. Now, what I will say is that you can spell steal and become massive, which is really funny. You spell steal the mobs that you are attacking and you become absolutely enormous, but they pose no threat either way.
Yeah.
I could be overgeared though. This is like a 900.
You are overgeared,
Yeah,
mate.
I'm well overgeared for this.
Four-piece Mage, I might be a little overgeared.
Well, I'm just saying, on my Enhancement Shaman, who was way undergeared, it was a very different story. There was a lot of eating going on there. But that was the quest which ultimately ended up with me on top of Dalaran to charge the lasers. I'm really hoping, from the base of this one, is that at some point we're going to float Dalaran over to the Broken Shore and just nuke the fucker out of orbit. Or something like that.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it was a little disappointing. It ultimately turned into a bat gun. So shit. So fucking shit. It was so underwhelming. We're charging Dalaran's defenses, boys. We've got this. And you fire up this big crystal and you create this giant insentient technology.
Yeah, but you're hundreds of feet above Dalaran in the tallest
the very top of the tower. The very tallest tower.
Really cool view.
It looks gorgeous, and then it's like, right, you've got this sentient piece of technology. Activate it, and you click it, and it just starts shooting piddly ass lasers at the Fellbats, and then they go, okay, good, the Fellbats are sorted. I'm like, really? Really? The Fellbats are fucking sorted?
This is the whole legendary ring thing, like the gimmick that we have, but I really want to see... Do you know what I want to see? I mean, this is something that I want to see. On terms of that storyline, somehow an overarching connection between all of them, not just the whole pushing back and fighting the Legion, but... Maybe, I mean, this is a personal thing now. I want to see the fact that you're charging those because Dalaran's at some point going to get overrun.
Yeah.
And I want to see, and I know this wouldn't happen, but like, I want to see Dalaran.
Yeah. It should happen.
Like, Dalaran get evacuated, and the ultimate thing being you self-destruct Dalaran.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of speculation that maybe we're going to destroy Dalaran.
That would be
unfortunately,
amazing.
That would render Dalaran not available for the rest of Legion, which probably isn't going to happen. That's why I'm edging more towards we're going to move Dalaran and do something with it.
Yeah.
Or ultimately, it might just be the best damn bat shield, and I'm talking about Fellbats, of course, the best damn Fellbat shield we've ever created. I mean, it's some serious Fellbat technology going on
with
there.
Your Nerf cannon.
Yeah, but one thing I did want to mention is the result of the quest change so far gives you a brand new follower. You get 6 out of 6 followers now, and they are a new rank. They are called Tilted. I'm joking. They're called titled, but it does
I
look
was
like
just
tilted. It does look like tilted. You get titled followers, and the titled followers gain an empty equipment slot. Now, it's not like a legendary follower. All your followers can now be upgraded to titled, which gives them a third equipment slot. So get farming your equipment if you've been skipping those quests.
I was just going to say, is that through gear or is that through XP for your
Experience.
followers?
Your experience bar starts
so it's
continuing.
the next ding, basically.
Yeah, so just before 7.2, send your guys out on the most XP-ridden missions you can and wait until the patch launches and get a little head start there. Cool. And also farm some gear. Do those gear quests, equipment slots for your followers because they're going to get an extra slot once 7.2 opens up. Once they get titled, of course.
Yep.
Not tilted. So Andy went on to do the Rogue one, which was way better.
It was way better, mate. It was way better. Basically, we got a message to go to the Uncrowned Council in our class hall. And when we get there, Ravenholt's like, look, okay, we've had contact with someone. I'm going to name names. We've already give you the spoiler one. We've got in contact with someone who basically says that they've seen a huge demon army in a cave in Azuna. We need to go and stop them, and she has a plan. Lo and behold, like Lillian Voss comes back, and she's like, I've got the plan, just trust me. So we go to this cave in Azuna, well, outside the cave with Azuna, and we meet up with the rest of the council, like Tethys is there, Ravenholt's there, Lillian, and we need to steal some special explosive. It's basically these group of pilots called the Black Sails who've upgraded their gunpowder with fell magic.
Sweet pirate
it's
bastards.
fell gunpowder, mate. So we need to steal those. We put fake orders down to send them left, right, and centre without actually looking for us. And then we get out. A little bit of bants when you do that part, pal. When you return with the gunpowder, Tethys' parrot Crackers basically says, wow, you're much more of a badass than Tethys. I'm coming with you.
And you gain Crackers.
I got Crackers the pet, mate, to come with me. Tethys,
Crackers.
no pat, mate. Get cooked. So we go back to the council, and then we learn about where this actual cave is, and Lillian's got a plan for it. So we meet Lillian. I think it's actually near the tomb on the Broken Isles. On the Broken Shore, sorry. Near the tomb of Sargeras, underneath it. Oh, yeah, that's right. We do fly past it, and we have to sneak in. This is where the RP comes into play. We get on top of the cave entrance, which is a vertical drop. We abseil down
to the
James Bond theme, mate, which we did on stream. Glorious, like a hero. You grab the barrel, you stealth, and then you have to plant these barrels around. Well, you have to plant mounds of this fell gunpowder around the cave before heading out of the cave. This is the cool part, though, because once you go out, it's not just an automatic quest completion. You basically, Lillian says, what? Tethys didn't give you a match to light the fucking gunpowder. Are you kidding me? So you have to go out, but lo and behold, when you leave, there are mini fell fire elementals, or what I call them, who you basically have to lure over your gunpowder trail, which will then set off the explosion, which you get a nice little cool cutscene.
I never got a single
where the cave explodes,
cutscene.
mate, but you don't look at it. And why is that?
Because cool people don't look at
Because
explosions.
cool people don't look at explosions, Pledge. Exactly right. So we do that. We gain the pet. We gain Lillian Voss as our follower. And then we go back to our order hall. We get the toy as well, pal.
Yeah, the salute toy.
The salute toy.
Everyone
which is
gets it.
The
The
pose that
salute
you
toy.
make when you get your artifact weapon or when you upgrade your artifact power. You get a toy that does that with a little light on you as
God,
well.
I wish it did something better.
It was so cool, but I enjoyed the shit out of that. It was very Hollywood.
Your quest was awesome.
But it was awesome.
And I went over to do the Shaman one because, of course, we've got to get them Shaman mounts on the PTR and show them off and see exactly what all those animations are about. And this one, again, Lore Bros, is going to be touchy Lore Bros because Magatha's back. Magatha Grim Totem. It's very cool because it's like there's somebody, there's a visitor upstairs, but then we're not letting her pass. Do you want to go and see what's going on? And so we were all like, who is it? Who's turned up? And the people were going, it's Magatha. It's definitely Magatha. She's totally Magatha. And then you turn up and there she is, the murderer of Ken. And yeah, she's there, and she's actually well powerful as well. She's so powerful. She's got all the guards up in cyclones, and she's like, "Who the fuck are you? You in charge? Fucking let me in."
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's a big storyline playing out there, which leads us to going seeing beautiful Therazane, the mother of dreams.
Gorgeous. She's gorgeous.
The mother of dreams herself.
Tits like rocks. Pun both intended and not intended.
Yeah, very cool. Where we end up looking for the Doomstone.
Okay.
And what's really interesting about this story, how it plays out, is the Doomstone is super powerful. And Magatha starts getting really upset that you won't give it to her. But your character's like playing it smart. It's like, I am no way giving this to you. So she says, I am not leaving your side while you have the Doomstone. And she doesn't. She continues to follow you throughout the shaman story, like really sticking to you like fucking glue. You go and see Nabundu, the big man himself, and he's like, you're right not to give it to her, but you look after it until we find somewhere to keep it. And Magatha's like, well, don't think I'm leaving. I'm fucking staying with you. Which then you go and team up with... it's really nice, actually, because you go and see... I forgot her name already. Rock Boobs. Thursday. You go see Rock Boobs. And she's so sad because the Legion are creating infernals out of her rock. And she's like, this is my earth that they're turning against me. And
oh, shit. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, she's really moody about it. So I got most of the way through the quest until ultimately the quest did bug out on me and it's broken on the PTR.
Aww.
Yeah, it wasn't... I mean, it sounds better than it is. The nice part about it is it actually took you to 1,000 Needles. You went all the way back to 1,000 Needles, up into the high mountains of 1,000 Needles, to the peaks, to do the quests with Magatha. But ultimately, the quests weren't particularly interesting, unfortunately. Like, nothing involving scaling grappling hooks or anything along those lines. It was healing shamans, which was just... I tell you what blew my mind. The quest is like, kill some demons, blah, 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 usual shit, and heal the shaman. I was looking everywhere for, like, a bandage or an unuse, and it was like, oh, I can actually just heal them. And that was
wow.
it. Yeah, I could actually just straight up heal them. It blew my mind because I was playing Enhancement, is that it was like, no, just cast your heal on them.
Heal them.
Yeah, just heal them.
Nice.
Which then brought us to the end of the Shaman one. So the Shaman one, I got screwed. I had no cutscenes in mind. I assume there will be cutscenes.
Did you manage to finish it, did you say? Sorry.
Got to the very, very end. Got to the very, very end.
So are we assuming that Maggie is your...
I don't know to say.
companion?
I'm going to leave that on tenterhooks.
All right, okay. Fair
But
enough,
yeah, we got to the very, very end where it bugged out, unfortunately. And then your last one you did was the Demon Hunter.
And it was awesome again, pal.
Edgy as fuck. I got so screwed on this test
But the
phase.
comedy was so funny in this one. But
Comedy?
like the comedy delivered,
Jace.
it was in the dialogue. No, mate.
It must have been Jace.
Wasn't Jace. No one likes Jace. You
I
either
like
pick
Jace.
Kane or you don't play the game. Shut up. Anyway, pals, we return. We get a message to return to the Fellhammer, and when we do, one of our ensigns on the bridge, mate. Yeah. She says, we've got an urgent message from an Illidari scout on Mardoon, which has been quiet for the past couple of months, who's been overrun by demons. We need to go down and help them. Right, okay, then we'll go down. And Lady Cetheno is also down there as well. She's probably not doing much in the fight. She's like, oh, right, she's a bit of a work-shy Naga.
Oh, yeah.
Fair enough. So we go down there.
You gotta be so careful with your words right now.
I know. So we go down there and we start to defeat the demons while rescuing our Illidari troops and sending them back to the Fellhammer. Now, it does seem in the game as well, not just because they highlight it, it was very, not so much boring, but really easy to decimate everything down there.
Demon Hunter.
No. Hear me out, though. Hear me out. Deliberately.
Okay.
Right? It was deliberately easy. I know that Demon Hunters are fucking stupid damage, but I'm not like epic geared, and we was mincing waves and waves of these like trash demons. And then it turns out that when you go to hand everything in, it's like you get you get a cutscene of all these ships. I think there's about 6 ships in the visual of all warping in and then opening fire on the Fellhammer. So it was basically a distraction.
It was a ruse?
It was a ruse, mate.
It was a fucking ruse?
So they send you down to Mardoon. They create a distraction to get all their generals out of the fucking Fellhammer so they can attack it and infiltrate from the inside as well. So we have to head back up and there's a big fight on the Fellhammer where you destroy their trash and their commander. And once the interior threat is dealt with, your ensign approaches again and says, we need to fire up these cannons and shoot the shit out of these. Because the Fellhammer's a different ship. It will destroy these battle cruisers. So we do that, and then we don't get a cutscene. It's not in-game yet. However, there was a funny line of text that says, insert epic cutscene here.
Yep. Classic PTR.
Yeah, so once that comes back, you awaken because you've been knocked out somehow, and then you're the hero that saved the Fellhammer. You repair the Fellhammer after that's all happened as well. And then you're all done. You get your new follower. And we're done.
So I just want to put into context then. So you had an epic space battle where you fired the lasers, you grappling hooked, delivered gunpowder and destroyed an entire cave.
Yep.
I created the bat defense system and had a moody cow following me around. So some of the quests aren't quite the same as the others.
I won. Well, this is your fault for being caster, right? Casters have been fucking fluffed and jerked off since the start of Legion.
I got to spell steal.
Give something... The devs are thinking, give something back to the melee,
Oh yeah,
right?
Demon Hunters haven't got enough cool shit. We should definitely have a space battle for them. That would be fair. That would be fair. And whereas the mages can activate the bat defense system. It was so underwhelming. I know I'm harping on about it, but it was very underwhelming. But yeah, the quests are very different. The next part of the quest that should be released soon is going to be actually getting the mounts, and we'll have some fun with those.
Hopefully. That's the hard stop, from where they've released up to in the PTR
that is where it's
as
up to now. There's no more quests after that. But it's got to be said, despite some are definitely cooler than others, they are a little repetitive. They seem to have a really cool bit of story, but I've got to say, that part of the story has been very, very cool. Then they have a very monotonous part, almost like the Legion invasions. And they seem to come in threes, which is kill some demons, close a portal, and do something else.
Oh, I had that on my
all of them seem to run along that thing. Then there's cool story. They seem to have done a really good job with the first part. And this then finally unlocks these class hall upgrades where you can not equip 3 legendaries, but it does unlock the ability to have the multi-relics.
It does.
Yeah, so your last upgrade, so it costs. It's going to cost you you want to get about 40,000 artifact power, guys, banked, saved for 7.2 on your main character at least. Because the final upgrade, it takes 2 weeks to complete so far, is getting the ability to have the multi-relics. These are relics that are going to affect 2 traits, not just 1. But it does say, for those of you who might be wondering, is this something that affects current relics? The answer is no. It is all new relics that you will get.
It says that on the tooltip as well.
Yeah, it says on the tooltip, these are new relics that come after you finish this quest line and get that class hall upgrade that's going to give you the multi-relics. And that's where we're up to so far. Good fun.
Enjoying the shit out of it, mate.
7.2 keeps bringing good shit, guys. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.
Bye.